Hey guys, again, I'm so sorry I'm not with you. I'm doing my best. I'm trying to make sure that I am giving you guys everything you need as far as content. I'm pre-recording these for you so that you have me there without being there, but you're still getting the instruction. I know it's a little dark because it is, 11:30 at night, but this is what time I have to do it at, and that's okay. It's commitment, right? Okay, so I saw that one of you wrote a message saying you were still struggling with some of the content despite those wonderful videos where I say okay like 10,000 times. Seriously. Okay, 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 right? I'll try to use a different word. But I wanted to go over a few of the problems just so you kind of had an idea so you could spot check your own work. This is from number 1 on page 549. It says graph the parabola and identify the vertex. So it's y equals negative 3x squared. All right, well, when I look at that, I immediately see a couple of things here going on. Let's see if I can turn this on. Okay. What I see immediately is the fact that this is a negative. I know that my graph should be going down. And because it's in the form of ax squared, I also know that it's starting at the 0, 0, and it's going down. So I at least know that. So I know that this essentially, the vertex is going to be 0, 0. I know that. So I could at least say that, like, okay, vertex is going to be 0, 0. And I know that it's a maximum. If I can find a color that's working here. There we go. Let's be my vertex. So things that I kind of know, just from the format of how it's written. I know that roughly it should kind of go like this, right? But that doesn't really help me graphing. So what we have to do is we have to write a function table where we pick values for x to get our y, because if I pick values for my x, then I can plug in for my y. So what values do I want to pick? Well, in this case, there's no fraction, so it doesn't really matter. Because I know the vertex is at 0, 0, I'm just going to pick numbers that will either be to the left of it or to the right of it, because what do I know about a parabola? A parabola, let's say it's here and it goes like this. Well, if I know 3 points here, here, and here, well then all I have to do is simply change the x value and copy it on the other side, and I would graph it like this. So if I simply pick 2 points to either the left or the right of the vertex, then all I have to do is reflect them across, and I have my my parabola. So being that the vertex again is at 0, 0, I'm just going to pick the numbers -2, -1, and 0, because those will all, for me, be to the left of it. All right, so my formula is negative 3x squared. So y equals negative 3x squared. All right, well, when x is 0, right, the easiest one, when x is 0, what is my y going to be? Well, 0 squared times negative 3 is still 0. So I've got my first point. That one I knew. I'm going to do negative 2. So whenever we are substituting into an equation, you want to make sure that you put it in parentheses so that you're carrying the sign with it, okay? So I'm going to write it like this. It's negative 3, parentheses, negative 2 squared. And I want to make sure I follow my order of operations here, which tells me to do negative 2 squared. So negative 2 times negative 2 is positive 4. So now I have y is equal to, turn this over here, negative 3 times positive 4, which becomes negative 12. So when x is negative 2, y is negative 12. Now I'm going to do it for positive 1. Okay? You got that so far? Erase this. All right, so now I'm going to do the same thing when x is negative 1. Y is equal to negative 3 times negative 1 squared. Exponents in parentheses, negative 1 times negative 1 becomes positive 1. Negative 3 times positive 1 is negative 3. So now I have 3 sets of points. negative 2, negative 12, negative 1, negative 3, and 0, 0. And I'm going to go ahead now and plot that on here. And I'm thinking I'll probably make these go by 2s just because, for like, let's see if that's better. Because I obviously don't have 12 spaces over here. Let's see. I go back to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Maybe I can. Let's see. 7. Extend this. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Look at that. I got it. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and start graphing my points. My points were 0, 0, negative 1, negative 3. And you guys, I want you to use your logic of what you know what symmetric means. If I pick a point that's to the left of the graph, then for it to be to the right of the graph, the x sign would change. It has to be equidistant. I'm just flipping it over. So if it was negative 1x, or if my x was negative 1, to reflect it, the x would become positive 1. Okay? All right, negative 1, negative 3, and negative 2, negative 12. There we go, and I'm just going to graph them. I'm going to go from negative 1 to negative 3, negative 1 to negative 3. And if I go negative 1 to negative 3, then that means I also have to go positive 1 to negative 3. Because now, see, it's equidistant, symmetric on each side. If I go negative 2, negative 12, right over here, and that means I have to go positive 2, positive 12. And it should look something like this. Of course, mine's not going to be perfect because my lines aren't equidistant from each other. But also notice, this is a narrow parabola. That's something else I should have stated in the beginning. I knew it was going to be more narrow because this was a whole number. When you have whole numbers, they're a bit more narrow because that means the y value, the rise, is bigger than the run. Because remember, this is also the slope. So this is telling me that from every point, I'm going to be going down 1, 2, 3 to the right 1. What? Stop it. Did anyone just see that? I just could have, is that another way I could do this? I think so. This is the slope. I'm going down 3 to the right 1. And because it's squared, that means it could be positive or negative. That's why you're doing it on both sides. Amazing. I know. So cool. Gotta love math. Everything ties in. All right, so that was number 1. All right, I'll do one more with you. So I'm also going to do number 3. And again, we're on page 549. Still being asked to graph the parabola and then identify the vertex. So the question is y equals 1/2 x plus 2. Y equals 1/2 x squared, I should say, plus 2. Well, this is in the form of my standard parabola. You know, the ax squared thing here. And what I also want to talk about is this looks a lot like y equals mx plus b. I don't want you guys to forget that because this is very similar to that. The only difference is that this is squared, and that's what makes it, you know, let's have this curve going on, because when we square something, to undo it when you square root it, it can be positive or negative, right? Positive or negative, which makes that whole like symmetric thing going on. So what I want to remind you of is this is my plus b. This is that y-intercept where it's crossing the y-axis. This would be my slope. So this is telling me it's going up 1 to the right 2 because it's a positive. Up 1 to the right 2. Up 1 to the right 2. Which also means it's going to go up 1 and to the left 2. Or left 2. Up 1 to the left 2. Making the U for us there. Also, y equals x minus h squared plus k. This plus 2 means that I'm talking about a vertical shift. So instead of starting at 0, 0, I'm going to be starting at 0, 2, because that means from the origin, the whole graph shifted up 2 spaces. Because this is a positive slope, that means that this is going to be a parabola that's going up, right? It's going to have a minimum. Now, Some of you will want to graph it like that. Others of you, you're going to want to go ahead and make your table. So I'm going to make my table here of x and y. I'm just going to go ahead and pick -2, -1, and 0 again. -2, -1, and 0. We're going to plug and chug. So we get what y equals 1/2. Plug it in. Work our way through it. The whole plug chug concept there. 1/2 times -2 squared plus 2. -2 squared is 4. 4 times 1/2 is 2. 2 plus 2 is 4. So when it's -2, it's y is +4. Well, when x is 0, I plug 0 into the, or -1, let's just go ahead and go in order there. Y is equal to 1/2 times -1 squared plus 2. -1 squared is 1. 1/2 times 1 is, you got it, 1/2. 1/2 plus 2 is 2.5. Good so far? All right, now we'll do 0. Y is equal to 1/2 times 0 squared plus 2. This whole thing becomes 0 plus 2 is 2. Again, there is my y-intercept. And let's say, like, if you weren't able to identify the vertex, let's do +1. And what you're going to see is that it should match up to this 2.5. You're going to start to see that your y values replicate. Okay? So y equals 1/2 times 1 squared. How come that happens? Because when you square a number, it becomes positive. That's why it's reflecting on both sides. Because by squaring x, it always makes it positive. So -2x, the value for the x value for -2 will be the same as the x value for +2. The y will end up being the same. Because -2 squared becomes +4, and 2 squared becomes +4, right? So again, 1 squared is 1. 1 times 1/2 becomes 1/2, and 1/2 plus 2 is 2.5. That's how I know there is my vertex. Okay, so some of you, if you can't figure the vertex thing out pretty easily, then you're going to want to pick numbers like -1, 0, and 1. Something like that. Now I'm just going to graph it. And so here we go. I've got 0, 2, and notice what happened is I shifted up 2. I've got -2, -2, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4 over -2, and that means I'm also going to have +2, 4 here, and I've got -1 and 2.5, -1 and 2.5, and -1 and 2.5. So there's our graph right there. Ain't it pretty? All right, there we go. So again, our strategy here would be to make sure that you are making a table of values. You should start to see a replication, and where you see that you get, a -x and a +x with the same y means that's where it is being reflected. Okay, so in this instance, problem I just did, my vertex then was 0, 2, which was a minimum because it was going up. Last but not least, this is number 5. The question was, when is the vertex a minimum? Well, you're going to have a minimum when the a and the ax squared plus bx is positive. So when your a is positive, you're going to have a minimum, because positive means it's going up, which means you're going to have a, quote, floor, a minimum. And when is the vertex a maximum, or maxima, it's also known as? And that's when your a is going to be negative. It'll be a negative a, because that means it's going down. So therefore, you're going to have a maximum point. All right, so I'll pick a couple others from this section to go over, and then we'll look at 9.2.